Hey guys, and welcome back to Schneid's 15. It's Josh here. Today we're making a video on 2 years later after the Nv4500 swap. So if you're familiar with the channel and you are interested in this, or if you just clicked on the title because of what you came to, here we go. So 2 years after the Nv4500 swap, no issues. But the biggest question I get is ECM and PCM swap. I was fortunate enough to get one with my swap. I never put it in though, because I'm kind of one of those guys that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's still working, don't mess with it. So I never did. I've been driving it for 2 years now with it, and I've kind of forgot the fact that I was gonna swap them in, because I believe when you put the ECM in now without the torque converter load, on the automatic transmission, it revs at about 900 at idle, and it's supposed to be about 850 when you're in automatic, because you got extra load from your torque converter always spinning on the flywheel, or flex plate. But when you put the manual PCM and ECM in, it'll lower it down to 800. So 900 to 800 will be really nice, because this thing idles really fast now. And it's nice to have the anti-stall feature that's built into it, so when I let out the clutch, it senses engine load and it'll give it some fuel or whatever it does to help me out when I'm taking off. Because right now I will say, guys, it does stall a little easy, I would say. I'm used to it that you rev it up, but I feel that I have to rev it up a little bit more than I should. So I'd rather have the computer take over and sense the engine load and give it some fuel and timing, whatever it does, and help me out, because apparently it makes a huge difference from what guys say online. So I'm here to just show you. I'm just going to go grab my keys. I don't have them. We're just going to show you the dash, what it does now. When I start it up, it shows the transmission temp sensor for about 5 seconds and beeps and then shuts off. It's been doing that for 2 years. I've never had any issue with the truck otherwise. So I'm going to swap over this ECM and PCM. I'm going to leave in the automatic harness. I have the full manual harness for the truck, which I'm not going to swap out, but I just thought I'd try and put in the manual PCM and ECM and see if it works. So I'm not going to show you guys. I'll show you guys where they are, but I'm not going to show you the whole procedure of me changing them out, because it's a couple plugs and a couple screws. So if you did the Nv4500 swap, you can figure that out. Let me grab the keys. Alright, so here I'm just going to turn the key on. So the key's on right now. You'll see there's the trans temp above the ABS light. That'll stay on until you start it. So I go to start it here. I'll start it up in a second. When you see the RPMs come up, you'll notice that it's revving close to 900 RPM, and the trans temp light will stay on for a few seconds, then shut off, and you'll never see it again. Let's go under the hood. Okay, so once we pop the hood, if you have the factory airbox, you'll probably have to remove that, or at least the lid for it. I got the big honking air filter, so I can just undo my 5/16 nut driver and just pull that whole thing out of the way. But there's your PCM. I'll swap that out, and then I'll show you the location of the ECM. We're going to swap just the PCM now, but I'll show you the ECM where it goes right now. It's down here. It's a little more difficult to get to. It is right behind, see your injection pump lines right here. It's back in there. The camera might not focus on it, but it's right there. I believe those are three, looks like 7/16 or so in bolts, and we'll pull that off too after and get that changed. But we're gonna start, we'll do the PCM and then start it up and see how it acts. So if guys want to just swap the PCM, they might get away with that, but we're gonna do them both and see what we get away with. Alright guys, so the PCM is swapped over. We'll see what happens here. So we'll start it up and see if that trans temp thing goes away, because it should, because it thinks it's a manual now. So there we go. Okay, so no trans temp or anything, everything's normal. Idle is still up at 900, which is controlled by the ECM on the side of your block, so we're going to swap that next. But as far as I can see, everything is working proper. Gauges work, tack works, everything is working as it should. my odometer is the same. I wasn't sure if that was in your dash or in the computer, so that's good because the other truck had like 500k on it, the one that I got parts for. So I'd say we're good to go. I did just put the truck in reverse here. Feels like there's a bit of a governor out. I'm gonna pull ahead in second here. I'd say that definitely is a better governor than before. It is really, yeah, it definitely has a bit of a governor now because I was in second gear with no fuel and it pulled away just fine. So I'm gonna say that the PCM controls that governor. Alright, so we're out of the truck now. Here's the new one. I wrote on the back of it that it's a 1999 manual ECM. Truck's been swapped to Nv4500. All parts from a 1999 to swap truck. Truck has auto harness still, so that might help somebody in the future. Who knows? Anyways, come down here. 3 10mm bolts. I just stuck my Milwaukee on. That's probably my best investment, guys, if you want to know a tool to buy. There's 3 10mm bolts there. They'll come out of the block and you can shimmy your harness so your ECM comes out and it's right here. Here's your thing. So right in the middle there's a 5/32 Allen key that you remove. It threads into there and then your harness will come loose, so then you can put the new one on, and we'll do a review of me driving it. Again, take your battery terminals off. Alright, so I just got the ECM in. We're going to start it now. It's just got to check engine light now. Yeah, we got a lower idle. That's super nice. Super nice. Now we just got to figure out what that engine light is. Alright guys, so I just pulled over. As you can see, I got a little bit dirty doing that job. I got an hour lunch, so my other camera just died, so we're using this one, so the sound quality might not be as good. But I just took this thing for a spin, guys, and all I can say is if you haven't done this computer swap and you did an automatic swap in your manual, or a manual swap in your automatic, do it. This computer is amazing. This is a totally different truck to drive, like 100% different truck to drive. I plugged it in there, as you've seen, before my camera died. I got an engine light. I cleared the code. I've been driving it for 10 minutes or so now. I haven't got any code. So I'm just pulled over here, just on the edge of the road, because you can't film anything on the road like this, apparently. So anyways, here is my dash. I'm gonna put this thing in second gear and I'm gonna let off the clutch without any fuel, and you'll see that this thing just gives it fuel and goes. See that RPMs never even change there, barely, and before they would drop like crazy. If I'm in second gear on a hill right now, and that's with the South Bend dual disc clutch. Alright guys, so last clip, I just drove it again. I shut the truck off, started it up, shut it off again. I still have no engine light. I think what happened is it had a bunch of codes on it. I cleared them once and it didn't clear it. Cleared them again and then it cleared it and they haven't come back. I think they were on there because the last guy 12 valve swapped his truck. He took out all the sensors and stuff, had it all zip tied back, and still used everything. So the truck threw a ton of codes because all he was using the truck for was ignition, so and the key switch and everything. So he just had everything zip tied back, like I said. So none of the sensors were in. Throttle position. There was a throttle position code. There was a map sensor code, turbocharger code and stuff, which is map. Anyways. I have a Wi-Fi scan tool here, and I just checked it again. Nothing pending at all, no light. And all I can say, guys, to finish off this video, do the computer swap. This thing is amazing, like totally different truck. Before I would let out the clutch and I'd either have to, like if I want to pull out in front of people, I was scared to pull out in front of people. Like I've driven lots of manuals in my life, but this one was different. You'd give it a bit of gas and then you'd let it out, and if you were too quick on letting out that clutch, especially with the South Bend, she'd just stall and you'd look like an idiot. So now I don't even give it fuel, and I hammer down and stays at like 850 RPM, just gives it fuel. I don't even have to touch the gas pedal. I can let it out. It makes this South Bend clutch feel smooth as butter. I should have done this swap 2 years ago, guys, but I was just scared. I had enough going on with the swap. I didn't want to swap the computers if I didn't have to. So anyways, this is just a confirmation video. If you swap the computers, it makes your truck a lot better if you have an Nv4500 swap with your automatic computers still. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I really hope this helps. It's mid-October here now, and stay tuned to the channel if you're in for these 24 valve trucks. I got a set of 3-inch or 2.5-inch control arms coming for the truck because my axle's not centered, so I got that coming. And I also went and splurged and I bought a Quadzilla adrenaline tuner, so if anybody wants this 98.5 to 2000 edge comp, I will be selling it, and I am going to be selling it with the gauge because the comp doesn't have gauges, so you need them. Strongly need them, so I'll probably sell it all as a package. Anyways, it works great, not hot unlocked or anything, so stay tuned for the Quadzilla install, and we're gonna I'm excited to get that installed and drive the truck.